So the Outlast Trials, guys, this is a title that is very much so one of my most anticipated games of the future, and I'm really excited about it, guys, because this is once again kind of like Quantum Error, kind of like some of these other titles that we talk about here on the YouTube channel. It is a indie horror title, and from what we've gotten up to this point in this franchise, Outlast 1 and then Outlast 2, the absolute sheer terror of this title, of these titles in particular, gives me so much excitement, but huge anticipation for the Outlast Trials. This is a title, guys, that, obviously to me, I just wanted to continue raising the bar, because I believe, guys, that Outlast 1, what a terrifying title. Outlast 2, though, in my opinion, actually raised the bar in my mind when it came to those terrifying moments, those moments where you're just wanting to run away, you want to shut your Xbox or PlayStation off, you don't want to play anymore because of the sheer amount of terror in that title, the story that was built around it. Unbelievable what they were able to build in a title that really only took about 7 hours to beat, at least for me, as far as the runtime goes. Just 7 hours of, non-stop heart palpitations. Unbelievable what they created, that being Outlast 2 with Red Barrels, and even Outlast 1. So the anticipation for the Outlast Trials is at an all-time high. I want to talk, though, in this first segment of the show about what we know about the Outlast Trials at this point in time. We've created content, guys, on the YouTube channel about the Outlast Trials. You guys can check out all of that content here. But I want to talk about right here, right now, what do we know about this title? Let's break it down, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So, guys, in an article coming to us from Sam Zell Breyer of Looper, imagine you're thrust into the Cold War era, a time when citizens had to live in constant fear that at any moment their world could be eviscerated. Now imagine you were part of some cruel experiments that pushed you to the brink of insanity. Not exactly anyone's idea of fun, right? Not if it was really happening anyway. As a video game, however, it could be an excellent co-op experience. The good people at Red Barrels want to place gamers in such a scenario with the new title, The Outlast Trials. In the game, an entity known as the Murkoff Corporation brings in unsuspecting victims to experiment with methods of brainwashing and mind control. Gamers play as one of those poor lab rats and engage in tests either by themselves or with friends. Do you think you have the nerve to go at it alone? Take a look at everything there is to know so far and see if you'll be ready when the Outlast Trials releases. So first and foremost, guys, this title is being dubbed more of a co-op title. Now, I have question marks around that, because what made Outlast 2, especially, very recently in my mind, playing it over again, what made it so terrifying was playing it by yourself. Now, obviously, there should be the option to be able to play single player or co-op. And, obviously, I think it's great to have co-op, because we talk about this all the time on the YouTube channel, where it's good to have a full package, that being a single player story, co-op modes, as well as multiplayer modes. The thing about the co-op, though, is that it's not going to be quite as scary, most likely, as it would be playing by yourself. Just because, obviously, when you're with someone else, it kind of takes some of those tension moments out of it. You can get scared together with your friend as you're playing co-op, but sometimes it takes you a little bit out of the experience. So I do hope that, we have the single player that we're able to play. I would like it more so if it were actually like just separate co-op modes from the single player story. But that being said, we'll kind of have to wait and see as time gets closer to the Outlast Trials. But overall, guys, I think them having co-op is massive for this title in some capacity or another. Now, does the Outlast Trials sound like your kind of game? Are you eager to begin these trials? If so, you'll have to exercise some patience. On the game's website, the release date is listed as unannounced. Luckily, the trailer reveals that it's planned for a 2022 launch. Now, first of all, guys, we have to really take that with a pinch of salt, because obviously, like many games out there, they may have a plan to release it, in say 2022, but it may get delayed just because of the ongoing pandemic and things of that nature that happened, obviously, that shook the earth to its core. And so a lot of these game development studios may still be working remotely, or some people may be working remotely. So you got to take 2022 with a pinch of salt. I do think that we're definitely closer to getting this game and it releasing to the world than far away. But, obviously I'll keep you guys, as informed as possible of when the official release date comes out. Now, the original Outlast is considered one of the greatest horror games of all time. Naturally, a sequel is in order, and it arrived in 2017. Fans have likely been eager for a new installment since they reached the end of Outlast 2, and fortunately, the developer teased the next new game 2 years later. So, though the Outlast Trials won't be out until 2022 at the earliest, fans can still get a feel for what's to come in both the teaser trailer as well as the gameplay trailer. If you haven't seen the teaser trailer or the gameplay trailer, I would highly recommend checking it out, guys. Definitely feels like you can just see from the gameplay, certainly looks like an Outlast game. Whether you're playing by yourself or with a friend, it's got those vibes. What the first couple of Outlast games kind of remind me of is more of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre type of style, whereas this one gives me the vibes of potentially more of like a Saw title, if we compare it to movies and things of that nature. That's what this one seems to be a little bit more closer to, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. There was a lot of talk, guys, though, that something I had mentioned on the YouTube channel, just from like the images that were released for the Outlast Trials with the goggles that the characters are wearing and such, it seemed to me at least that this could be a game that was played in VR, where you have a VR headset, things of that nature, but it does not look like that's going to be the case. The gameplay trailer begins with an opening shot showing someone running from a large humanoid wielding an axe in a third-person camera view. Suddenly, the viewer is thrown into first person as the antagonist slices and stabs. What follows in various shots of what is presumably the facility holding you captive. A reassuring voiceover claims to be your friend, appearing to blame you for your circumstances. In the end, this mysterious voice assures that we are all going to get better together, though that seems doubtful. So what is the Outlast Trials gameplay going to look like, guys? Well, there aren't a lot of in-depth details as to how the Outlast Trials will play, but a closer look at both trailers offers some clues. In the teaser, your character is outfitted with night vision goggles, suggesting this may be a key feature in the game. Indeed, the protagonist is soon running from an imposing enemy, and the camera is first person through a night vision filter. This character winds up at a dead end where another person, presumably a co-op player, commands the player to grab hold so they can be hoisted over the barrier. Now, honestly, guys, this could really create so many tense moments with you and your friend, and this is where co-op may actually be awesome, where it's you and someone else trying to escape, and it's going to be like real timing, because in the Outlast 2, there was so many moments where you're by yourself, and timing was everything, making sure that you're not, you're climbing under something, or you're trying to escape from, the hordes of enemies that are around you and such. There were so many tense moments in Outlast 2. This could be very similar to that, just with someone else or even by yourself. I don't know if you're going to have to play it with someone else or if you're going to be able to play it by yourself, but you would have like an AI co-op character. It's hard to say. The gameplay trailer offers a few more nuggets of information, showing a POV shot where the camera shakes radically. The gameplay could offer some pseudo-psychological effects as players progress through the game. There are also a few shots of corpses, someone stealth sneaking, and another collaborative moment as a partner tries to grab the player's hand after they leap over a ledge. There also appears to be a jump from one character's POV to another. Gamers can kick open doors, arm themselves with weapons, plant bombs, and more. So from the looks of it, this is going to be an intense survival horror that could challenge players to figure out the best path to salvation. So overall, guys, I'm incredibly excited about this title. Like I said, one of my most anticipated games of the future is the Outlast Trials. Some of the things that I'm really hoping to see, though, guys, one of the things with Outlast 2, even though there's a lot of people out there that I'm sure you were just ready to like be able to complete the game because of how terrifying Outlast 2 was. I believe it was one of, if not the scariest game ever made. I thought Outlast 1 was very scary, definitely top 5 for me, at least as far as scary goes. Outlast 2, I think, actually, took over that spot. But how is this going to do that? But I'd also love to see a little bit of a longer game. I'd like to see it be It'd be great if it was double the length of Outlast 2. Now, we know that Red Barrels, guys, not only were they the developer, but they were also the publisher on Outlast 2. And so I would love to see them kind of make a longer title, make it like a 14-hour campaign, or make it, somewhere in that ballpark. Even though, guys, obviously these horror games are terrifying. You just want to learn so much about the lore, the story as it comes out in Outlast, in the Outlast trials in particular. We want to learn more about this world, even though you don't get a huge opportunity to do that much in, the second game, just because you're constantly running away from something. And it kind of really, if you're stopping to read notes and things of that nature, it does kind of bring you out of the story at times. But it also kind of gives you a breath of fresh air before moving on to the next part of the game. I'm hoping that we're able to do that. We learn more about this world, and it kind of sets up the next generation of the Outlast trials. That being said, though, guys, what do you all think about the things that we know so far about the Outlast trials? As we're getting closer and closer and the hype is building for the Outlast trials, what are the things that you guys want to see? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more of the Outlast trials content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.